Bernard Hickey, good morning.
Good morning.
Fonterra, they're not going to publicly list their company.
That's right. On Saturday, they announced that one of the options for a capital restructure, which was to be an NZX listing, is now off the table. Now, this is big news, not just for farmers, but also for the NZX, because the farmers have been against any idea of putting Fonterra shares onto the open market for someone else to buy in and control. Fonterra now says that we're going to have to do a capital restructure without the move onto the NZX. Now, that could mean going to the farmers themselves and saying, we need extra equity capital to reduce our debt, so you need to give us some more money. And the farmers will say, that's fine, we'll go to our banks and they'll give us some more money and then we'll give that money to you, which means the whole industry is just that little bit more indebted. You're effectively transferring debt from Fonterra to the balance sheets of the farmers individually.
Why is it bad for the NZX? Because it just doesn't it would be good growth for them, is that right?
The NZX is desperate for a big new listing, and particularly a big new listing with an international name, one that will attract a lot of international and local investors. And you don't get a bigger name than Fonterra in New Zealand, really. It would be like Nokia listing on the Finland exchange. And this was the big hope, the great white milk hope for the NZX, and now it's gone. And you have to start asking some tough questions now about the NZX's role. It's lost so many big listings. It hasn't had a big one since Vector, and many people have lost confidence in the NZX, or in fact in stocks generally, after the last year or so.
Do you have to ask big questions now about Fonterra? They won't have the capital, they won't be able to grow, promote brands overseas, become the great value-added dairy company they want to become?
Well, I still think there's capacity for the farmers to go deeper into debt. And they'll do that, and the banks will probably help them. That's the way the banks are thinking at the moment. And Fonterra can continue to grow. Its debt levels are slightly higher than they want it to be, but and they'll be able to reduce them slightly. The growth aspect, I still think farmers haven't really been convinced about the international growth plans that Fonterra has. But Fonterra can continue to produce great milk, and in fact, today it will be near the peak of its production as we go through the spring. So it's still a strong company producing a lot of stuff on the international stage. It needs to reduce its debt slightly, and the farmers will help them probably.
Property market, it's through the roof again, and you'll want to comment. This is bad.
I try to take a zen approach to this now because
you come across sounding negative, but you know you've got reason to be.
Yeah, it just keeps on going up. The one thing that QV did say with the numbers out today showing an increase in house prices was that an extra wash of supply is going to come onto the market in spring, and we're already seeing it. I was down in Cambridge yesterday, beautiful day, signs springing up all over the place, new houses for sale. So that's going to put some extra supply onto the market. And what we're seeing with the home loan approval figures from the banks that come out weekly is that we're not seeing the big spike up we saw in March. And that suggests to me that, yes, prices have stabilised and they might be nudging up a bit, but we're not going to see the boom, 10-20% rises that we saw through 2003, 4, 5.
You're down to Wellington for the Reserve Bank announcement on Thursday?
Yes, on Wednesday. Looking forward to it. Most people think it'll be left on hold at 2.5%, the official cash rate. ASB surprised a few on Thursday by saying it might increase to...
What do you think?
I think it'll be on hold.
2%?
Yes, but I'm really interested in what Dr. Bollard has to say about this housing market.
Good stuff. Catch you tomorrow. Thanks very much, Bernard Hickey.